Welcome to Motivation. I'm Ron Henderson.
And I'm Wanny Huynh.
Speak with power. That's what we're going to be talking about today, right, Wanny?
That's correct.
Okay, so where are we going to start today?
We're going to talk about finding the niche.
Okay, so when people talk about finding a niche for speaking, and you run into people every day, people are constantly talking about they want to be a speaker. What are some things that people can use, Wanny, to find their niche? Because it is a niche market.
It is. It really is. And they need to understand who are they talking to? Right. Who is their audience? And for me, my audience is first generation immigrant, and also depend on the topic too. If it's an example of a corporate calling me and say, hey Wanny, we want you to come in and talk about to a group of diverse employee,
right.
Then I gotta know that, okay, I need to structure my speech this way. But if you were to go out there on your own and decide building your business, and you would need to know who's your niche. Right. So that way you can target that specific audience instead of just trying to run around and be everything.
Right, to everybody. That doesn't work. Right. That doesn't work. So so a person, let's say a person finds a particular niche. I always say, so you find that niche, but what do you bring into the table? So one thing I tell people is you have the niche market that you believe is your market, but you have to come to that market with passion. So how do you find out what your passion is? So what I tell people is make a list, okay? First of all, make a list. What do you like to do? Period. What do you like to do? What are you good at doing? Okay, in any order, really. What do you like to do? What are you good at doing? Then I would say ask you can ask 15, 16 of your good friends and ask them, when you look at me, what do you think I'm good at? Ask your friends, because they're going to tell you straight out, okay? What do they think you're good at? So you're going to have this list of your friends say, Wanny, you're good at cooking, all right? So Cooking with Wanny on YouTube, whatever it is, okay? You think you're good at cooking? I have a show called Cooking with the King as an example. But anyways, so Wanny's good at cooking. You know what you're passionate. So maybe you have 4 passions. You say, I'm passionate about gardening. Maybe you're passionate about doing Zen gardens or something, okay? So then with that passion, then you start fine tuning it and say, which one of these, although I'm passionate about, which one am I the most knowledgeable about?
Very good.
Because you agree, you have to have knowledge with this. Because when you're speaking in front of a large group of people, you have to be able to convey that you're the expert.
Right.
All right? So talking about your passion, what you would like to do, what you're good at doing, your friends, you have that list. I tell people, start narrowing it down. And then from that point on, now they pretty much know they have 1 or 2 things. What's the next step for them?
Right. Let me just back up a little bit.
Yeah. When
you're talking about find the passion and make the list, I agree with that 100%. And a lot of people, they tend to go it the wrong way. They say, okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about gardening. I'm going to talk about cooking. I'm going to talk about home decoration.
Exactly.
You have all these lists of things that you want to talk about, but yet you're not an expert in any one of those topics.
Exactly.
So you want to pick one topic, just like Ron, you mentioned, that you're an expert at, and then just go with that topic, sell that topic, because when they look at the topic, okay, gardening, the first thing they think about is Ron. He's an expert at gardening. I'm gonna go with him. And once you select that topic, when you decide on your topic of expert, then just go out there and start sharing your information. Say, hey, I'm Wanny Huynh. I'm an expert when it comes to gardening. That's what we're talking about.
Right. Yep.
And that's how you market yourself. You don't want to go and market yourself and say, oh, I talk about this, and this, and this.
Right, because I find people all the time, they give me their business card at these meetings. I'm speaking somewhere, people come up all the time and they say, oh, I love your speech. And I say, well, what do you do? Oh, and they give me a list of like 5 or 6, and I'm looking at this list when I get their card, I'm thinking, nobody can be an expert at all of this. Right. And so generally speaking, what happens with their card is, I put it over here to the left side. The right side is where I pull people that I'm gonna call. I don't tell them that, but the reality is nobody's an expert at everything. Right. So, like you said, you find the niche market, find out what you're good at. Another thing is make sure that you know the subject matter. But that passion, see what happens with passion is you can convey passion to people if you have passion. But if you're an expert but you don't have any passion, then you become a speaker that's just kind of like, okay.
Right.
So you're waiting for the person to get there. You ever have somebody talk about something honestly, Wanny, that you didn't even care about. But they had so much passion for it, I was like, okay. So then you listen to the guy, at the end of his speech, you're thinking, my God, I wasn't even interested in that. And man, I learned a lot.
I agree. It happened to me many, many times, actually. That's something that it comes with the energy that the speaker gives. It doesn't matter how boring the topic is. If the speaker is exciting and he knows how to give that speech, he got my attention.
Right, I agree.
But if the speaker is an expert on a topic, but he don't know how to share that information, right. I don't care how valuable the information is, I just cannot. He just cannot grab my attention, and I'm gonna zone out.
Right. See, and you're saying exactly what I'm thinking, which is why, even though, see, we're coming to you because we want you to know what we're doing, because we're putting programs together that's actually going to help you become better speakers. But along with that, we're also going to be doing some conferences, okay, that are actually going to be low price, that people can actually go and learn about this, okay, can learn more about it, actually become better speakers. Because here's the deal, you were just saying that. I don't care how much information you receive, unless that information becomes transformational, it serves no purpose. So people can get out there, you can talk all they want, but you have to speak in such a way, you have to speak with authority, and in such a way that information is received into people and becomes a catalyst for action. Because most people, I see this week after week, they go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting, and they never take that next step in their life. So we want to be transformational so that when you come and hear us speak, you leave there saying, yeah, I can do it.
Right.
Do you agree?
And not just saying it, you actually go out there and actually doing it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what I said again, because you can say you're going to do it, but what will be the catalyst to have our audience take action? And those are kind of things, you're not going to learn it all in one session with us on motivation. But when you come to the meeting, you're going to be getting all that stuff. And trust me, you're going to leave, you're going to be, Wanny, they're going to be, I remember the first time that I went to a meeting. I flew to New York, it cost me almost $6,000 for this meeting. Was the meeting transformational? Yes, it was. Did it motivate me? Yes, it was. Did they overcharge? Yes, they did. They overcharge, and we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we have a pricing for people that most people can afford, because we really care about seeing people become better speakers.
Right. And it is boiled down to us, our passion of helping people.
Right.
And we can give it away for free too, but yet when they feel everything is free, they don't feel the value in it. That's why they're not going to want to come.
That's right.
Right? Have you ever offered a free course that no one want to show up?
Right.
I did that. I
agree.
I thought
Doesn't
maybe
work.
That people can't afford my course, so I do it for free. And guess what? No one shows up.
Right. Exactly.
That's why we want to put a price tag on it. Right. People feel there's value in it.
Exactly. Let's move. I would agree with you on that. It's so important that people understand, and I say this every day. You see people that send out all these news flyers, free conference, become a better speaker. The reality, folks at home, it's not free. It's free to get you in the door, but they have an expensive price tag at the end. And so what they do is they're taught how to soup you, drive you, and suck you in. So now you walk away with a course that you can't even afford. We want to make sure that when you come to our course, first of all, you know what the price is up front. There's no hidden thing. You can actually afford it, and it's something that will actually help you. We don't want to be what I call bait and switching on people.
Right.
All right? And you do get what you pay for, so we're going to be charging reasonable, and you're going to find out more about that. We're not even going to talk about the price right now, because we want to actually make sure that we're helping you and giving you some value.
Right. And that's the reason why behind the course as well too, because sometimes people let the price tag stop them from pursuing their passion. And when I come across people who talk to me or share with me their story, like, oh, you know what, Wanny, I cannot afford that. And now it is first generation immigrant, people who just came to America from the third world country. And I always like to use the analogy. Pretend you're back in your country, living in a small village, and someone come up to you and said, Ron, it will cost you $100,000. I get to help you bring you to America. Are you willing to do it?
If I have the money, yes, I'd be willing to do it. But I have to have the money.
Right. And some people will say, you know what? I will do whatever I can to come up with the money.
Oh, you have to get the money.
You have to get the money, right? They would do. They say, I would do whatever I can to come up with the money. And then once they're here in America, and then you offer them the same opportunity. I'll take you from where you are right now to where you want to be.
Exactly.
With this small price. And they say, oh, I can't afford it.
Right.
Right? They don't think twice. Oh, I can't afford it. But when they are back in the situation where they are hurting, they're like, I'll do whatever I can.
Oh, yeah.
We need to put ourselves in that situation all the time, especially when you want to grow. You want to put yourself in a situation where you're in pain.
Yeah, I agree.
When you feel you're in pain, you will do whatever you can to get out of that pain.
I agree. And see, Wanny, here's the thing too, brother. The other thing is, when you were talking about people being in pain, the reality is, most of the people we're talking about, they're actually in pain. They don't realize it, see? They're complaining, they don't have this, they don't have that. Well, to get this and that, you have to learn. You have to, if you want to be a good speaker, you need to learn how to actually speak with, and that's why we call it speak with power. You have to learn actually how to do that. You have to apply yourself, so it will cost you a little bit of money, but the benefits far weigh out anything, and that's what people need to think about, the benefits. It's an investment into your health, mental health, your speaking, okay, everything.
All right. And everyone, successful people, they do that. They need to invest in themselves. Self-education is very, very important.
Exactly.
The late Jim Rohn once said, formal education will earn you a living.
Right.
Self-education will earn you a fortune.
Exactly.
So never stop learning. Continue learning, growing. If you can't afford a certain course, there's plenty of free content out there. Go out there, and there's free content. But if you want to get your career to a jump start, then you need to find a coach, a mentor who's already doing what you're doing, who can help you get to that destination.
Exactly. And here's the thing too, folks. Both of us have actually paid for courses, period. Even as a trained speaker, I paid for courses of great information, and it cost me a lot of money. In fact, I won't tell you what it was, we even partnered with the course, but that still cost me a lot of money for that course. So when you're talking about what we're going to be charging for our courses, man, it makes me want to just bump my brother Wanny here, like they do in the football team, okay? Because that excites me, because we're actually going to be able to help people to actually move the next step in their life.
Right.
Because it's not enough just to say, I'm a motivational speaker, but you can't really talk your way out of a paper bag.
Right. That's right. And hopefully the audience, the viewer, will get a lot of valuable insight just by watching this weekly video that we put out too. We should be sharing a lot of information and help you grow your business along the way too.
Yeah. Before, even without them even buying our course right now, we're still offering information that if you actually folks listen, will help you become a better speaker. Because first of all, if I'm going to give a speech right now and I want to talk about Zen gardening as an example, if I get up and I say, I want to talk about Zen gardening, well, first thing you do is you rake the, and the second thing you do, folks, do you hear what that sounds like? What you want to do is come out and say, today I'm going to talk about Zen gardening. One of the first things that you want to do, and we're going to talk about that. You notice how I did that? Sometimes you have to do what they call a pregnant pause or a pause. You slow down, pause for a second. That will help you not to come out with those filler words. And we can talk about that actually. I think that's really important too.
It is important.
Maybe the next episode talk about the filler words and why you don't want to use it, you know?
No, I agree. Yeah, that's our main objective, is to help you grow in speaking, and by tuning in to what we have to share, you get a lot of valuable information.
Right. Hi, I'm Ron Henderson.
I'm Wanny Huynh.
Welcome to Motivation. How you feeling today, my friend?
Great.
Are you excited about today's show?
I'm hyped.
But anyways, I'm excited today because we're going to be talking about really our passion.
All right.
And we've partnered really together. We plan on doing a bunch of workshops for people because we really want to help people learn how to really speak properly and how to actually be a successful speaker. Right?
Right. Well, let me share with you a little bit about why I became a speaker.
Yeah.
When I was starting out, 20 plus years ago, I was invited to attend a motivational seminar, and on stage was a motivational speaker. And the reason I was there because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I just dropped out of college, and I feel kind of lost. And then one day, a friend of mine invited me to attend a motivational seminar, and I wasn't sure if this speaker was gonna able to help me or not. And as I sat there among the group of 300 people, and throughout his speech, he said something that was so moving and so inspiring that it sent a chills up my spine. And at that moment, I realized I want to do that. I want to get on stage and share my story. And that's the reason why I want to become a speaker, and also just to motivate and inspire people as well, because I know that story moved people. And that speaker that day, he moved me because he shared inspirational story of overcoming adversity, challenges. And I realized that, you know, with my story, with my background, I hope to move somebody the way he moved me. And that's why I want to get into speaking, because of that reason. I want to help motivate and help uplift individual.
And Wanny, what was it about in his speech what was the thing that actually inspired you in his speech? Do you know specifically? Do you recall?
I don't remember specifically, but I remember he was sharing something about overcoming adversity, challenges. And as I look at my life that time, I realized, wow, if this is the person he's talking about, the story that he mentioned, if they can change, if they can transform their life, I can too.
Right.
And just through story, that inspired me that I want to do that. I want to get out there and hopefully to share my story, and it affects somebody's life. And that's why we're here right now.
That's why we're here. And you know, if I was to reflect back and say, let's say roughly 37 years ago, what got me into speaking, I didn't have that moment that you had. It was really, somebody asked me to speak at one of the schools. And I got out there and there was a little consternation initially because I'd never really spoken in front of a group before. But one thing that I noticed afterwards was I really loved being out there in front of those people, talking about something that I was passionate about. And for me, it's always been physical, mental health. People, how they think and things that they do with their body. And after that time, I just really felt like, you know, this is my calling. And I wanted to become a better speaker. So of course I, you know, went out and purchased kind of like Anthony Robbins and different things. His courses, went to a couple of his seminars, and I actually fell in love with it. And then afterwards, people would come up and they'd say, wow, you were so inspiring. And I thought, thank you. And I never, by the way, Wanny, I never had it never felt like I was ego tripping on myself at all. I just felt like God had given me a gift, and it was important for me to share that gift. And then over time, obviously, you get better and you get better. So I'm a much better presenter now than I was, say, 37 years ago. And you would have to say that too.
I was the opposite. I was extremely shy when I started out, and I didn't know anything about public speaking. I just knew that I want to get up on stage and share my story. Right. But I didn't know how hard and complicated the process was, because first of all, I was very shy, right? And I didn't know how do I go about to become a better speaker. I was totally opposite from you, and I was lost too. I didn't have anyone to turn to. I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have any coach, and pretty much I was kind of on my own. And back then, I didn't know anything about Toastmaster. We didn't have Google back then.
Yep.
And it took me at least, I think it's 18 years before I came across the book by Jack Canfield called The Success Principle. And in that book, he mentioned about Toastmaster. He's like, if you want to become a speaker, contact Toastmaster and become a better speaker by going there and start speaking. And that's what I did. I joined Toastmaster and started speaking. And the first couple of speeches, I don't remember what I was saying, because I spoke so fast and I was so nervous, I was scared.
Right.
But through time, just like you said, I become better and better and better. And it does motivate you, because you see the progress. You go, oh wow, I was here back then, now look at me right now.
Right. And in fact, do you find that when you watch other speakers on TV, you're more aware of how they present themselves? Mm-hmm. And there's so many people that actually speak publicly that quote unquote aren't really good speakers. Mm-hmm. They're saying all the time. They're saying, you know what I mean, all the time. So, and they're using and all the time. And they're slurring their words. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
And you actually find them to be very boring. So I believe what we want to do is actually help teach people how to actually be more engaging when they speak, talking about not using the filler words and all those kind of things. But Wanny, from your experience, what is, other than the fear of speaking, what is the other thing that tends to hold people back that are thinking about maybe becoming a speaker?
Just a few things I mentioned earlier. They're shy. They had no sense of direction of where to go to get this training, resources, and I think most importantly is they need to find the true passion. They need to find why they want to do it, because if they don't have the strong reason behind why they want to become a speaker, every little thing can stop them in the path from pursuing that dream. So first of all, I encourage those who inspire to become a professional speaker or presenter that they gotta ask themselves, why is it that they want to become a speaker? Why is it that they want to become a presenter? Find that reason behind that, because you're gonna need that reason. There's gonna be a lot of challenges throughout your journey to become a speaker. It's not an easy journey. It's a hard journey. We have to let them know right now. It's a hard journey. Nothing is easy. But with the right guiding, with the right coach, it's a lot easier.
Right. So how much do you think coaching has to do with a person improving in speaking?
I say 95% of my success through coaching and mentoring, because without their help, I probably still wander around try to figure out what direction to go.
Right. Yeah, and I asked you that, and I feel the same way. But I wanted to ask you that because I want the audience to know that both of us have had coaches. And so when I go somewhere and somebody says, "Oh, you did a fantastic job," well, I did a fantastic job. If they're saying that, it's because I believe that I do have a God-given gift to do what I do, but it's because of those people that actually coached into me. Some of them in person, some of them online, others through videos. But there's so much that I learned from those people, and I think one of the reasons we're doing this is we both realize that a lot of people actually, I think we believe that they're overcharging for what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing this because we really want to help people become better, and we want to make sure that ultimately it's affordable. Would you agree, Wanny?
I agree. And a lot of program out there too, they sell your program, but then after you get into the program, you end up being more lost and confused.
Frustrated.
Really frustrated. Then they encourage you to go buy this program, and it just pretty much send you all over the place.
Right.
And it's very confusing, it's frustrating, and then at the same time, you kind of lose motivation too. It's like, wait a minute, I spent all this money and then I'm not getting anything out of it.
Right.
So there's an area where we got people who can tell a story, but they're shy, and then people who need more training,
Right.
but yet they don't have a great story that need to be crafted.
Right. Because there's one thing, you can tell a great story, but when you're speaking to an audience of 100, 500, 1,000 people, it's different. It's a different thing. So even if you, let's say maybe you had cancer and you were healed of cancer, whatever it is, and you can say, well, that's a great story, but when you're doing a keynote and you're talking for 30 minutes, you have to be able to present that information in such a way that you can keep the audience
engaged with others.
Right. And one way you do that obviously is using vocal variety, adding humor. That great story is very important, but even more so, the great story, vocal variety, humor, and actually also knowing how to really read your audience as well. Would you agree?
I agree. All those key components you just mentioned is very important as a speaker. You don't want to be just get on stage and become like a robot.
Exactly.
You want to be energetic, you want to have a lot of energy, because when the audience feel that, they're going to have the energy as well.
Right, yeah. And also with that, being very genuine and authentic with your information. So you can get up, if you get up there and you say, oh man, when I was a child, oh, poor me, poor poor me and all that stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of people that have stories like that, but when you get up there and you say, when I was a child, XYZ happened to me, and you quiet your voice and you share that experience, because when you share that experience and it's from your heart, people can feel the difference. You can feel the energy, okay? And those are kind of things that we want to get into with people and help them.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I think we're doing the right thing here, Ron. I think we are putting together something where people who want to become a speaker, so just a storyteller, hopefully to share their message and inspire somebody, can find the right path. And with our help, with our guidance, we can help them get from point A to point B in the shortest time possible. And with proper training, they can achieve greater success in a faster time. Right.
Here's a problem I see though, is a lot of people, they think that they know so much, they don't think they need what we're doing. Yes. And so I'll go and I listened to a speaker this morning. She's a motivational speaker. after 2 minutes, she's professional. I had to shut it off. I was like, oh my God. Every word was She was so bad I wouldn't give her a name. I felt sorry for her. It's just, there's thousands of people there listening to this lady, and I would have had to say, where's the bathroom? I would have left.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Right. See, you and I, Ron, we're both still seeking coaches and mentors all the time because we're always seeking feedback.
Exactly.
We never put ourselves as, oh yeah, we know everything. A great speaker. No, I don't view myself that way. I don't want to speak for you as well. But with me, I'm always seeking feedback. How can I improve? How can I be better in the next speech?
I agree.
So it's always learning. It's a learning process, and then you never say that. Oh yeah, you know everything, and you're not willing to take any feedback.
Right.
That's the kind of attitude that
I agree.
Will hurt your business.
I agree. And no one knows everything, obviously, but you do get better, and that's why I always go back and I say I have a God-given gift. That actually keeps me humble. So I don't get on the stage and say, boom. No, what I do is I prepare. I know what I'm talking about. I have a God-given gift to do what I do. And I feel that I would not be on that stage unless I'm supposed to be there. So I'm supposed to be there because people need to hear my information. So I hit the stage with confidence. I do. But again, now I have 40 years of experience going into what I'm talking about. That actually helps me a lot. And so, but again, let's go back to this. In the beginning, I was talking about me talking with that friend of mine, and I said, why are you passionate about it, and what are you passionate about? That's why it's so important to have passion in what you're talking about so that you can deliver that message. And I don't care if you have 1 year experience as a speaker or 4 years experience as a speaker. If you give a message of something that you have knowledge in and you're passionate about, your audience will receive it.
Right. Very true. And I'm just the opposite from you. You know, I have to practice 3-4 hours on the same speeches that I just gave yesterday, and to feel that confident every day when I go out there and speak. It's different for me because, unlike you, English is not my first language.
Right.
And I always try to find way to perfect my speech, even though it's the same speech I just gave yesterday. I still have to practice and practice and practice. And that's the only way when I get on stage, I feel more confident. And trust me, a lot of people think, oh, you know, I have this speech nailed down. They don't take the time to practice. And then when they get on stage, you hear all this ahs and ums and body language, the gesture, nothing matches, nothing comes together.
I agree. And Wanny, and I really appreciate the compliment when you said that. I'm able just to throw things or just kind of like get out there. But that actually isn't true. Because see, what happens to me is I have a God-given gift, but I will spend literally hours writing my speech, and these are things that we'll be discussing with people too in the future, then cutting my speech down, cutting it down. So I went from 9-page, I'm speaking tomorrow night, but I went from 9 pages down to 3 pages, cutting it down. And then this morning I actually recorded my speech. I recorded, then I play that over and over and over again. Then I go back and I cut more stuff out. So I probably spend per speech, I don't know, probably about 15 hours at least. So it's more time than what people think. And the reason I do that is organizing the structure, because I have so much stuff to say that you don't want to overwhelm people, by the way, too, when you're speaking.
Right.
So I go through it, and I go through it, and I go through it. Then the gift basically makes room for itself. But I apply the knowledge and the things that I've learned from other people, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be helping other people with that. What we're hoping, folks, we're hoping that you continue to watch this show. It's on motivation, but we're really here again just to talk about the speaking with power and improving the quality of your lives from the standpoint that when you get up there to speak, you know how to talk. Maybe you want to be a speaker, maybe you're an author, or maybe you're working for a company where they asked you to get up and speak periodically. You have to be able to, you have to know how to present yourself.
Right. Or maybe you just have a story and you feel that the world needs to hear it.
Exactly.
I mean, everyone has a story, a great story.
Right.
And if you, in that situation, reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to sit down and talk to you and how we can help you grow, become a great speaker.
If at home, I hope you learned something, so the next time that you speak, you won't be saying, but you'll be speaking with more power and more influence.
Until next time, find that passion and go out there and share the story with the world. The world is waiting to hear it.
You've been watching Motivation with Ron Henderson and
Wanny Huynh.